everyone. I hope you're having a good day. I wanted to try a resin swipe on a 9x12 cradle board. It's already prepped white, and I'm repurposing this surface that I was using on another project. Got some green on my hands. I'll show you that later. But I was watching some techniques on YouTube today, and they are resin effects with cells and lacing, and I already know how to do the lacing with the white, so I decided I wanted to try these techniques I've been seeing in these videos, and these videos have been around a couple years, so they're not new, but I just recently found them. One of them is from Moon Cusser Art. I hope I'm saying that right. A very nice lady. She did a beautiful piece on a board that she painted fire engine red, and it looked super fun. So I wanted to try. It's a swipe with resin, and I haven't done a swipe yet. So I think this will be fun. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking my frog tape and I'm just taping off the back. And what this does is going to enable the resin to pick up those drips. Enable the tape to pick up the drips. So the cleaning the back off will be significantly easier. The first time I ever did resin, I didn't do this. I knew I was supposed to, but I didn't, because you know I have to learn by doing. All the bumps formed, and it was a pain in the neck getting those off. So I learned real quick, taping is better. And it doesn't need to be a, superior job of taping. It just needs to do the job. Get the edges covered. So when the resin cures and it dries, take a heat gun and a straight edge and slowly peel up the tape, just like that. Let's see here. I've been doing a lot of acrylic paint pouring techniques lately. I haven't done resin in a little while, so I'm super excited about this. I really love resin. And I am in a well-ventilated room. I got the window open. If you are not in a ventilated room, you need to make sure you're wearing a respirator. And now those are back in stock, so they should be easily accessible. And I'm not talking just a face mask. I'm talking one of those 3M respirators that look like something out of Star Wars, that cover your nose and mouth. And it's to protect your lungs. It's there for a reason. All right, let's get this tape off my fingers. Make sure this is on there. Like I said, it doesn't need to be pretty. It's supposed to do a purpose. Okay, got the edges covered. And I'm using a board versus canvas. Because canvas, as you know, is fabric. So when you use the resin, the fabric will dip in because of the weight of the resin. So you got to wait for that to cure, get another layer. So you're using tons of resin, unless you support the back, which some people put a piece of cardboard in the back of the canvas. Other people just pour some old leftover resin, the back, just a small layer, the back, let it cure, and that just forms a hard surface. So I went ahead and pre-mixed my resin. It's been sitting probably about 15 minutes, so definitely time to get going. And I thought I would use some black Craft Smart acrylic paint, and I'm just going to pour a teeny bit, hopefully, in the bottom of my cup. I'm just keeping this background white because it is just an experiment after all. This color is Primary Elements. Oh, it's on the lid. Nope, it's probably on the bottom. Color Art Shy Rose. And I'm just going to use a small amount. Can you see that? I love Color Art pigments. They're beautiful. Let me get a little napkin here. Clean off my spoon. And for this video, I'm not going to do any editing. I'm just doing it as I go. Usually I like to try to edit, put some music, put some words, because sometimes I get tired of watching videos where people talk. Pink parasol. But for the sake of time, and I'm super excited about this, I thought I would just straight out do it. Marigold Color Art. Look how beautiful. Oof, remember, just a little. A lot goes a long way. I'm gonna, and you could use your own spoon for each of them. You can use your own stir stick. I just like to reuse pixie dust. And to me, it's no worries if things get mixed. Just is what it is. Messy is sometimes good. I'm gonna do that. So now I'm gonna pour the clear. Some people like to put the resin in first and then the color. I like to put the color in first, especially with powders. Usually I like to mix the powder with a tiny bit of resin, then add the remaining. Because I'm short of time, I'm just going to do this. By adding the powder first, I don't get that puff of powder hitting me in the face. And look, just mixes up super fast and easy. How about that? How pretty. These powders are amazing. And they are transparent. So it's going to be shimmery on this white background. This is the black acrylic paint. And on my blog, I have a download. It's for an article I wrote for acrylicpouring.com on how to color and dye your resin. And that article is also on my blog, and I have it as a free download PDF little ebook also, to make it a little bit easier. Sometimes reading on websites is just very taxing. I'm old school. I like things in print. I have tons of binders of everything. Okay. And I am going to give all these another good mix, just to make sure all the powder gets dissolved. Like this one, I see a little bit right there. Look how pretty. It's amazing powders can do this. And I am using Unicorn resin. I like it because it's kind of a heavier resin, and air bubbles don't hold on to it. Cast and Craft Opaque Pigment Concentrate. And this is actually for epoxy resins. So, whoops, yep, a little, I forgot, these come out little at a time. And that's about 10 tiny drops. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, that's gonna be perfect. A little goes a long way. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna layer these on our board. And I did make sure my board is level, believe it or not. I am very bad at doing that. When I do my acrylic paint pouring, my spinner is always not level. I always forget. It's kind of funny. But embrace the messiness. So there's some of the clear. And I'm just going to use my hand. I think I got the green. Well, let's see what happens. Oh no, that's fine. I'm just going to put a thin coat right over the surface. And this is going to allow the colors to move, to flow. Got some green there, so good thing it's a practice. Doesn't have to be a super thick coat. It's one thing I've learned with resin. Less is more. Don't always follow my own advice. Then I end up in trouble. Resin everywhere. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to coat. I'm gonna wipe my hand off real quick. Because I would like to take the heat gun to this now, just to pop any bubbles. And it's important to make sure the heat gun, you don't get resin stuck in there. Usually I have saran wrap around it, but I forgot this time. And when not last time, but a while ago, I used my heat gun. Forgot to wipe my hands off, and I resined the switch. Forever off. Took a straight edge in there. Was able to work it out. And then what happens? I did it again. So now that heat gun is inoperable. So I got me a cute little pink one. That was inexpensive in case I did it again. Now I'm just randomly putting colors down. No order, no pattern. Because I know they're translucent and I wanted to see how they look on this white board. I think they look amazing. Here's our black. I think I'm going to put a little bit of black in the middle. And then I'm going to take some white in the middle. So for my swipe tool, I got this freezer paper. And it's got a paper side and then a shiny side. Shiny side into the resin and swipe. I've never tried this, so I'm super excited to see what happens. And I'm going to cut that bottom part off so I can reuse. I'm not pressing down too hard, I'm just going along the surface. See, it skipped. And now I'm going to do the other side real quick. And I am working quick because my work time is lessened because I did let the resin sit. Oops, it didn't grab right there. It's all right. This paper is done. Let's try another one. Shiny side down. There it goes. Looks like I'm pulling up on the edges, so it's not pulling all the way down. It's all right. When we heat the resin up, it may self-level that out, so I'm not going to be too worried about it right now. And then I'm going to do this little section up here. And now, take some heat. You can see a little bit happening. See what happens. Okay, the lacing in the white didn't happen. I've never used that Cast and Craft pigment before. There's just tiny bits, so I think that's part of it. So, here's my other thought. I bought some Resin Blast. Never used this either. So I'm going to put this, it says to add a couple drops. I'm going to put this in my white. Whoa, there goes the ring. That's funny. I'm going to put a couple drops of this. Put the lid back on. I'm going to stir that up. And I would like to layer one more time. Oops. Next time I do this, I would like to use my usual white, which is the Armor White, because that does provide amazing cells. It's beautiful and lacing. So I'm glad I tried this other one right now, because now I know. Okay, I'm going to put this here. Super pretty colors though. Okay, let's try the swiping. Shiny side down. It's already starting to do something. That's awesome. Make sure it touches. And then pull it all out. Oh wow, that helped a lot. Actually, I think I'm going to do this. I have better control when it's this way. So that Resin Blast is pretty interesting. It's some additive that repels resin that you mix into resin. So the science behind that, I'm not a real science person, but I think that's fascinating. You mix something to repel it, to pour it on, so that everything repels it. There's that. And this I'm going to cut. Look how cool that looks. I hope you can see that. And I'm going to go back here. And these colors, I didn't pick them for any particular reason. I just went in my drawer and said, oh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm really loving purples and pinks lately. So I wanted that orange just to pop. And then that yellow was going to be like my metallic gold, which I think is looking beautiful. Okay, might be done with that one. And what's really cool about this white, it's now blending with these pinks, so it looks like an iridescent white. And there's a thicker layer here, which I'm going to leave. And that little green blob thing from my hand, it's not there. Everything covered it up pretty well. Super excited. Okay. Whoops. Uh-oh. Pulled that a little too far. Let's see if I can. There it goes. Yeah, this is really pretty. It's not forming any type of pattern, and that's okay. It's just kind of a little bit of everywhere, like my pores. There we go. I'm going to drag that onto there. Wow, very nice. Super excited about that one. The edges aren't covered too well, but I think that's okay. It is an experiment after all. Let me add a little bit of heat. Very awesome, very fun experiment. I'm excited to see how that dries. The cast-in craft pigment, I thought since it was opaque, it would make more lacing, which it did not. And that's okay. It provides a subtle white color, which is fine. This Resin Blast is the secret ingredient for some lacing and cells. They're subtle, and it could be the way I'm swiping too, but that's okay. It's an experiment. So overall, I'm really happy. Got some cool effects. Nothing is too muddy. The edges didn't get covered properly, but when it dries and cures, I think it'll be fine. So I hope you enjoyed this. As soon as it cures, we'll pop back on tomorrow sometime. It needs to sit, well, it says 6 to 12 hours, but I liked 24 hours. Only because I've had some mishaps in the past. I just like things to rest, cure, and do their thing. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.